and you are listening to The Silent Reformer, a biographical novel detailing the extraordinary life of the revered Pandurang Shastri Athavale. Jai Yogeshwar. Chapter 2: The Legacy of the Motherland. Rohe in Konkan area of Maharashtra is blessed with picturesque nature all around. Look at it from any side, and you are bound to be spellbound by its natural scenic beauty. Once you enter the village, a variety of fascinating and colorful sights rivets your every movement. Moreover, if you are a stranger to Rohe, its beautiful beauty is certain to leave you speechless at the first sight itself. River Kundalika welcomes everybody at the very entrance of the village. The river flows westward as if serving as a guard for the village. One cannot enter the village without crossing Kundalika. One can see small rocky island in the river, while crossing the narrow stone bridge. Kundalika's placid current is seen caressing those small rocks, while moving ahead towards west. During monsoon, however, the river wears monstrous appearance. Vegetation of little consequence growth on her banks are left with no option but to offer their very existence to the spate of Kundalika. It rises so much that sometimes water threatens to enter shops in the market. In such events, canoes starts moving around in the lanes and the bylanes in the market. Otherwise, Kundalika flows in a kind and motherly manner. Having crossed Kundalika, one enters into the market area, which has a backdrop of rows of hills. Among the hills is situated the Rohe village. If watched from a distance, it looks as if some small blocks of houses in the village are tucked into the thick green cover of trees. Dahavir is the village deity of Rohe. During the course of time, the word Dahavir became Dhavir. Now the goddess is known by its corrupted name only, Dhavir. Dhavir temple is beyond the hills. Dhavir festival begins on the next day of Dasara, also called as Vijaya Dashmi, the 10th day in the month of Ashwin, according to Hindu calendar. The entire village wears a busy and festive looks when during the festival. A palanquin of goddess Dhavir is taken out, the British brass band playing tunes ahead of the palanquin as if announcing the arrival of the goddess Dhavir. Is the central attraction among the villagers. Everyone in the village is charged to the brim during the festival. The Rohe citizens who have migrated to other places make it a point to attend the festival and take darshan of the palanquin every year. For a person in Rohe, to receive the blessing of the goddess Dhavir is the greatest compliment. Moreover, to miss the darshan of the palanquin is taken as an unpardonable crime. Bhopi, the priest of this village deity, is considered as the most fortunate person on this planet. It is only because of his divine deeds in his previous births that he was chosen by the god to become the priest of Dhavir. It is strongly believed in Rohe. He looks after the management of the puja and all other rituals in the temple. During Navratri, also a festival is celebrated to appropriate goddess Dhavir. Untouchables belonging to the lower caste, however, are still being kept at a distance by the devotees of goddess Dhavir. The downtrodden cannot step into the premises of the temple, and nobody seems even remotely remorseful about this discrimination. Coconut prasad, eatables offered to the deities, are consumed later, which is considered to be a form of a blessing. is distributed to them nonchalantly outside the temple. The tradition of discrimination continues unabated. Rohe, a village of about 3,000 people, is a cluster of uniquely built houses, typically of a Konkan region. The mud houses have tiled roofs descending on two or all four sides of the dwelling. Every house has a small front yard cleaning up and purified by cow dung. Walls in the house are fitted with pegs to hang clothes and bags. Some of the houses have verandas. The floor of the house and the veranda is made compact and smoothened by applying to a mixture of jaggery and oil. Later it is smeared with cow dung wash. This mud house seems very closely associated with the five elements of the nature. Some houses have stable attached to it for cows. In the morning hours, a milking cows lows and later the oxen, while latching up to her udders to quench its hunger, makes weird sounds for a long time. Once the oxen is satisfied, it starts jumping in the air vehemently. Then begins the work of milking the cow. The density of the sound the sprays of the milk make in the metal pot keeps on changing as the pot is being filled. As the milk level rises to the brim, the sound becomes muffled due to the froth gathered on the top of the surface. The village wakes up early in the morning. Sound of soft rhythmic Bhupali players emanating from some houses catapult one's morning into a divine sphere. This is the time when the daily routine of cleaning of houses and the minds begin. Rohe, by behavior and thinking, is orthodox. The mindset of the villager and the goings on are bound tightly to the tradition. Any kind of change, if somebody tries to introduce with a view to answering the needs of the changing time, is abhorred. Mehendale family is the chief, the Khoth of Rohe village, while Lakshman Rao Athavale its ornament. After crossing the palatial house of Mehendale in the central lane, one encounters Lakshman Rao's two-story dwelling. An interesting tale related to the building of the house still makes rounds among the villagers. Lakshman Rao Athavale and Dwarkanath Deshmukh were two friends. Both of them arrived in Rohe with an intention to settle down almost simultaneously. They were searching for a piece of land to raise their family. Their hunt led them to two plots, which were on sale, but one of them was believed to be jinxed. Children do not live long in the family of the property holder. It was believed. Now the question that dogged both of them was who should accept that property, which was said to be cursed. Finally, both the friends decided to take out a draw and end the predicament. The draw went in favor of Lakshman Rao, and Dwarkanath Deshmukh willy-nilly had to purchase the cursed property. Today, however, his mother is seen in the midst of a crowd of their grandchildren. Not only did the Alex Jinx house blossom with lovable siblings, but Dwarkanath Deshmukh's son, Chintaman Rao, had displayed all the talents itself to shine in future in his tender age itself. Chintaman Rao Deshmukh later earned a reputation of a learned economist and rose to become the finance minister of India, popular known as C.D. Deshmukh. Lakshman Rao also constructed a house in his 10 gunta plot with the help of a contractor friend called Mr. Kunte. The house faces north with a road flanking its west. Like a silky white ribbon, it flows toward the hill. The road too has a slope toward north. Beyond the road is a vacant space where one once was a lake, but dumping of waste by the careless villagers had filled it completely, and it exists there no more. So much so that spots sometimes even emanate repelling stench. Moreover, it is also rumored in the village that the ghosts inhabit the place. Needless to say, the spot remained less frequented. Lakshman Rao therefore got to his feet one day with a strange determination in his eyes. Take a hoe and straight away headed for the place where there was once a beautiful lake. He alone started cleaning up the lake. Then the villager also joined him, and the lake was resurrected once again. Now the place stinks no more. The ghost also seems to have shifted to some other place. The lake is flanked on its right by a Shiva temple, and some dwelling with tiled roofs on its left side. Lakshman Rao had a penchant for cows. Hence there is a cow pen at the backyard of the house where cattle are kept. Rooms in the house are built in a row. At its front is a spacious veranda. On the left side of the veranda are two designed recesses, while on the front side, beside the stairs, is a raised wooden platform. The vertical wooden bars of the platform are decorated with intricate engraving. Recently, a rope is seen tied up on the platform. The purpose is to prevent the naughty grandson of Lakshman Rao from jumping over the high platform. But this 5-year-old grandson seems to be beyond any control. He keeps on jumping, un- underrated by angry reprimands time and again from the elders in the house. He deftly manages to wriggle himself through the rope barrier and continues indulging in his favor undertaking. Even now, his jumping exercise was going on, unabated. Suddenly, his Aji, grandmother, Saraswati Bai arrived there and said, "Hey, for how long you are going to jump like this? Do you want to injure your legs? And what if you fell down?" Young Pandurang smilingly replied, "How can I fall, grandma? I am quite skillful in jumping like this." Hmm, you spend all the day jumping and nothing else. No wonder you are skilled in it. What else? But now, enough of it. God, why don't you rest your legs? Pandurang answered this grandma with one more playful bounce from the platform. Having realized the futility of trying to rein in the impossible child, Saraswati Bai made a retreat in the huff inside the house to look after the household chores. Narmada, Pandurang's elder sister, who was playing sagar gotis, marble-like seeds played by girls, also tried to tame the naughty kid in an elderly manner. "Hey, why don't you listen to Aji? Why are you jumping so much?" "What will happen if I jump? Tell me, sister," Pandurang retorted. "You would fall, won't you?" "But how would I fall if I do it rightly? And what if it goes wrong?" "How will it go wrong if I do it correctly?" He continued arguing without getting off platform, which he had turned into a jumping pad. Narmada had tried to persuade him once again. She had to do this difficult task of somehow controlling this prankster. She would take care of her beloved brotherly in a motherly fashion. Though she was hardly 4.5 years older than him, she betrayed exemplary maturity. She never made Pandurang miss their parents. Their mother, Parvati Bai, and father, Vaijanath Shastri, were staying away in Mumbai, and the kids were in the custody of their grandparents at Rohe. Both the children were fortunate to have kind and loving grandparents, and Pandurang was more privileged to have motherly affection from his elder sister. She finally stopped arguing with him. All right, dear. In a cajoling and affectionate tone, she said, I know you will never go wrong while jumping, but now, for God's sake, stop jumping and come here and sit by my side. Pandurang appeared convinced and gave up his exercise in the middle to sit next to his sister. Just then the gate made a creaking sound to announce the arrival of their grandfather, Lakshman Rao. Aji, Anna has come, screamed Narmada. Saraswati Bai hastily came out, while Lakshman Rao stood at the gate only. Come, fetch some water, he ordered as he saw her. Saraswati Bai immediately brought water in the front yard. Anna, as he was respectively called in the family, removed his headgear and shirt to take a bath. Lakshman Rao then wore a small dhoti, climbed the stairs and entered the house, but not before taking cognizance of his grandchildren. Hmm, how is my Jhakas Pandurang? He exclaimed, while glancing at the brother-sister duo who were sitting on the veranda. He doesn't say anything. He quietly does many things. Narmada provided him the information smilingly. What pranks did he play today? He asked. What else? Your Jhakas has been busy since long, doing the same workout of jumping from platform. Pandurang had earned the nickname of Jhakas, dazzling or sparkling, from the children in the school. He used to accompany Anna to the school, the only high school in Rohe where Anna worked as a teacher of history. The Mehendale school was close by, a walk of barely 3-4 minutes ahead of the house, and a turn to the left led to the school. 5-year-old Pandurang would regularly go to school, clutching a, clutching a fingers of his grandfather. Actually, at that time, there is that is sometime in 1925, it was a regular practice of admitting children in the school only when there was sufficiently grown up. But thanks to Anna, the small Pandurang was allowed to sit in a classroom. He would sit on the front bench, and he was the smallest in the class. His dazzling personality would become still brighter by the sparkling white shirt he would wear. Other students had to wear soiled clothes with spots of dirt on them. Their habit of using sleeves to block ink from the bamboo pen would make their shirts further clumsy and their appearance funny. On the other hand, the clothes Pandurang wore used to be clean and dazzling white, thanks to Anna, who used to daily wash his grandson uniform. Any kind of indolence in his work. Pandurang, needless to say, would stand out among other children when he would sit in the classroom. Then the children would call him Jhakas Pandurang, up to date Pandurang, in jest. Anna would also call him sometimes by this name. Pandurang had earned in the school. Reacting to what Narmada told him just now, Anna turned to Pandurang and said, don't tire your legs. We are going to Bhubaneswar today. Walking. Pandurang got excited. Tai is also coming with us, no? Yes, indeed. All three of us are going there this afternoon. Today the school has holiday. No? Anna, should we go there right now? Pandurang again pestered. Come on, Anna, let us go now. Anna refused to budge. No, no. Now I have to finish my daily rituals, he said while entering the house and vanished inside. Pandurang was lost in some thoughts for a while Narmada was never able to fathom. Instead, she chose to occupy herself in reclining on the fence of the house and watching movement in the street. Front was coming alive. The sun has risen quite a bit. Sunlight was piercing through the dense mango trees grown in front of the houses beyond the street. The sunlit embrace to the flora was adding sparkle to the rich foliage of the trees. The Shiva temple beyond the lake, however, was immersed in a cool shade. The melodious sound of the chimp was emanating intermittently from the temple. Narmada was still looking listlessly toward the street. Pandurang popped up a question that brought her to her sense once again. Tai, why did Anna have his bath outside today? Glancing at Pandurang, Narmada answered his new query. Dear Anna, have visited the hamlet of the untouchables today, no? To teach them Manache Shlok. That is why he had his bath outside the house. Oh, one is supposed to take bath after teaching Manache Shlok, isn't it, Tai? No, no, no. Not after teaching Manache Shlok. After visiting the colony of untouchables. Why? Who are untouchables? Untouchable means they are not to be touched. Why? Aren't they human beings? To touch them. Narmada fumbled. Why? Are they bad people, Tai? No, they are not bad people. Nevertheless, let it be. Why are you thinking as much? Narmada actually was speechless in the face of the onslaught of the questions being fired by Pandurang, the answer of which even she did not have. Anna arrived there just when Pandurang probing was going on. He asked, what is he thinking about? Nothing, Anna. He keeps on popping a question or the other as usual. Narmada answered. Anna made himself comfortable by reclining against the large pillow kept on the seat arranged on the veranda, and remarked thoughtfully, he is a clever boy, Narmada. He will never ask anything insignificant. He is very curious and wants to know everything that puzzles him. We also should be careful and properly answer all his questions. Yes, Pandurang. Now, which question is biting you? Anna, I asked Tai, why did you take bath outside? So she told me those people, which people, Tai? Untouchables, Narmada prompted. Yes, untouchables. She told me that we are not supposed to touch them. Anna suddenly dragged Pandurang close to him. Pandurang, very difficult question you have posed, he remarked introspectively. What answers do I have? I wonder if you would understand if I tell you about this mean and brutal tradition. His feelings and thoughtful opinions started spilling out in the loud thinking that followed soon. God has created all human beings without any discrimination. However, the man created fissures among humankind. He pushed away untouchables, kept them outside the boundaries of the village, made them deprived of education, farming, festivals, temples, and whatnot. What for? Who created these disparities? Such discrimination pains me immensely, but but as far as I can fight against these factors. I have been going to these colonies for the last 20 years. I have been trying to educate them. But how can the change be brought about all of a sudden? It will require certain time to pass. To some extent, I have liberated myself of social manacles. However, if I try to get rid of all these shackles completely, the society will outcast me only. Then how will I be able to carry out activities of social reforms? How will I be able to mold and shape you? Anna's introspective pondering made Pandurang speechless. He understood what Anna was saying, but was unable to comprehend fully the meaning of his thoughts. He, however, only realized that there is some bad tradition being followed in the world, which Anna is not only refusing to adhere to, but also his best to eradicate that means practice. Just then Saraswati Bai came out with a plate full of beans to be peeled. While squatting on the earth, she inquired, "What is so serious going on about?" "Nothing, Grandma," Narmada replied. Pandurang had asked a question as usual, and Anna was answering. "Whatever you say, his questions are thought provoked indeed," Anna intervened. Hardly did Anna stop talking when Pandurang came with another query. But this time the question was dedicated to Saraswati Bai. "Grandma, aren't these beans you are peeling?" "Yes, my dear." "But how did they sprout?" "Because they were soaked. If the beans are soaked, they sprout next day." Saraswati Bai explained. Pandurang was about to shoot another question when Anna said something in self-addressing tone while getting to his feet. "Come on now, let me work on the loom for a while." "You have been running the loom for the last 10 years," Saraswati Bai reacted complainingly. "Can't you rest for a while now? And today is holiday. Listen to me and relax." "How can I rest, my dear? Look how Gandhi is working hard. Shouldn't we contribute to his work a bit? I tell people every now and then, everywhere, not to use foreign textile. Then shouldn't we prepare for our clothes?" Anna replied with the determination of his wife's request. Actually, Anna was a follower of Lokmanya Tilak, a great freedom fighter, journalist, mass leader, and a social thinker belonging to the previous generation of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi was greatly influenced by Tilak. In fact, the entire Konkan coast region, especially the Chittapavan Brahmin, high caste people in Maharashtra, was the bastion of Lokmanya Tilak. As he passed away in 1920, an epoch of radical and combative politics has ended. Then appeared Gandhi on the horizon of Indian politics. Yet, people in Konkan remained loyal to the Tilak school of thoughts. Anna, however, had embraced Gandhiism as he believed in changing and molding the mindset according to the times. He was not a status quoist and hence refused to hang on to one stream of thought forever. He shifted from radical politics to reconciliatory course, but with a well thought out principle. A principled man he was, but certainly not a slave of ritualism. He used to carry out the religious service, but only as much as required for a Brahmin. Otherwise, he was of a progressive nature. Once he accepted Gandhiism, he started propagating khadi, cotton yarn spun on handloom. Gandhi started the movement of khadi as a tactic to combat foreign aggression. He had his handloom even before khadi became popular among masses. Since 1914, as Gandhi dominated the political Scene. This handloom found a place of honor in the front yard of the house. Lakshman Rao himself used to run the loom, spin yarn and weave cotton fabric. Since when Pandurang was 2 years old, Anna would weave fabrics for his clothes. Never leave this khadi, I tell you, he had told Pandurang at that time. Later, Pandurang was to preserve the legacy of khadi all through his life. Going to the loom, he further said, I am weaving a new shirt for our Pandurang. Fantastic it is going to be. Jhakas! Saraswati Bai, however, continued her nagging. How much are you going to toil? I just don't know. This morning only you had been out. This is why I am telling you, you have to have some respite from work. Dear, try to understand. Do I go to the colonies of untouchables of late? 10 years ago I used to go there regularly. Nowadays one does not find respite to visit their places. Today after a long period I went there to teach them. Anna tried to calm down his wife. But you are also planning to visit Bhubaneswar this afternoon, isn't it? Yes, indeed. Too many days have passed since I took Pandurang there. Then turning towards Pandurang, he told him, we are going there after the noon, all right? So rest yourself for a while after the meals. And for God's sake, stop jumping now, or else you will complain of smarting legs later. Anna headed for the loom, even as Pandurang and Narmada went in tow behind Saraswati Bai as she entered the house. Pandurang's mind, however, was still occupied by the thoughts about untouchables. Bhuvaneshwar temple was not that far away, hardly a distance of about 2 miles towards southeast. It took about 20 to 30 minutes to walk down the distance from the Athavale's house. Anna used to visit the temple often. However, this time he was not alone. With him were his grandchildren, Pandurang and Narmada. The street in the front of the house led them towards south. After climbing up a slope, they would have to turn left. A walk for about 15 to 20 minutes later, they would reach at the Bhuvaneshwar temple. As they climbed up on the slope, Anna asked the children, should we first go to the lake? Yes, it would be great fun. Both of them shouted in an unanimous agreement. Then instead of taking left turn from the Mehendales High School, the threesome headed for the lake behind the school ground. By this time the sun had reclined toward west. The tiled roofs of the houses on the left were draped by the golden rays of the setting sun, while the roofs on the right had gone ashen. Shadows of the trees in front of the house had lengthened so much so that they had encroached upon the street. Sun rays filtered through the trees also were lying on the street. Witnessing the vivacious games of sun rays and shadows on the street, they reached the lake behind the school. Nestled by the hills, the lake stood out because of the rocky background. The divine touch of the golden sun rays was offering a sparkle to the expanse of water in the lake. A breeze or two intervened in the play only to prompt the glimmer on the water burst into dancing. Small birds were seen on the banks of the lake, playing with gay abandon, as storks and herons were seen waiting patiently, in ambush for an opportunity to pin and pick a fish or two with their long beaks. All three of them were captivated by the spell-binding manifestation of nature to be turned out solemn by the divine peace of the evening. Pandurang was completely entranced and was seen to have become one with the nature's breathtaking charm. Suddenly, Pandurang picked up a pebble and hurled it into the waters, when Anna reprimanded him in a slightly raised voice. Hey, why did you throw a pebble in the water? The lake will be filled up, don't you understand? Anna, how can it be? If one pelts of pebble or two in the lake, it will certainly not be filled. Pandurang tried to argue. Dear, Anna said, trying to convince him. It wouldn't be much later for the lake to be filled up and be no more if everybody starts throwing stone like this in it. A lot of toiling by all of us had been poured into the work of rejuvenating this lake. Anna, Pandurang explained in belief. Don't tell me you excavated this lake. Anna swung his head in affirmation. I initiated the work, and school children did this Herculean job. Narmada was impatient to know everything about it. Anna, tell us all. Why did you dig up this lake? She asked. Tell us everything, please. Anna obliged Narmada and told the kids everything about this lake came into being. There was a creek near Roha village. Still, the village always faced water scarcity. Anna often felt that he should make some endeavor to combat this perennial paucity of water. He often used to talk his mind to Dwarkanath, his friend. One day he casually broached the topic to Dwarkanath. This is a creek. There is a creek near village, but the water is of no use to us. So what if we scoop a lake for water? Idea is appreciated, but who will dig up the lake? Dwarkanath, bewildered somewhat at this kind of weird suggestion, reacted with amused look in the eyes. That we will take care of first. First, let us identify for a proper place for the lake. Come on, I have a place in mind. Let me show it to you. Dwarkanath suddenly appeared enthused by the idea. Both of them proceeded in search of a spot where a lake could be created. Dwarkanath took him to show a landscape behind the school. At the foot of the hill, instantly Anna approved it as it was situated exactly in the fork of two hills. During monsoon, several streams of the water would confluence there, and even otherwise, that seemed a right spot for water conservation. Both of them unanimously decided to have a lake scooped there. Actually, that was a less frequented place, as a trader from Gujarat had drowned and died there. Dwarkanath still was puzzled. All right, the site is finalized for the lake. But you did not tell me who will dig the lake. Who else? I myself am going to start the work. Don't tell me you are going to do it. How can it be possible? Why not? Once you begin a work, everything becomes possible. Everything happens as per the wish of the god, but somebody has to make the beginning in itself. Simply nonplussed, Dwarkanath could not hide his astonishment as he kept on watching his friend's face. On the next day itself, Anna armed with shovel and mallet headed for the hills. Villagers were curiously astonished to see him like that. Anna's behavior immediately sparked whispering surmises in the village. Soon everyone realized that Lakshman Rao alone had guided his lions for the well-being of the village. Before anyone realized what Anna was exactly up to, he had begun scooping the lake. Students watched their teacher shovel a lake for the villager, ran for his help. As the news spread of Anna's venture, many villagers appeared on the sites on their own with their shovel and mallets. Thus, what appeared as an impossible task became a reality. With the collective efforts of all the villagers, a lake came into been in few days. As expected by Dwarkanath and Lakshman Rao, the site provided to be the right choice as it bores ample water. The villager immediately constructed the lake properly, and thanks to Anna's initiative, water problem dodging the village had become a thing of the past. After narrating the history of the lake, Anna quietly said to Pandurang, "That is why I told you not to pelt pebbles in the lake." Anna's narration made an indelible and lasting impact on his mind. Some unknown thoughts had germinated in his fertile mind. Little Pandurangli said, "Anna, I will never throw stones. When I grow up, I will follow your footsteps and work like you." "Yes, my dear Pandurang, you have to do that work. But now, come on, we have to return before darkness." Anna started walking briskly as Narmada and Pandurang led their grandfather, capering and hopping cheerfully on their way to the temple. Bhuvaneshwar temple at that time was completely deserted, without an inkling of any human existence around it. The area there was quiet and peaceful, but the solemnity of the temple appeared stifted in the serenity. The ambience was sans and any kind of sound except the deep resonance of anahat, a piercing sound experienced only in total silence and in the higher state of meditation. The temple of Bhuvaneshwar was surrounded by mango trees, while on its other flank was Bakul, sweet smelling flower tree. The front of the temple was adorned by tall deep mal, a conical column of stone having horizontal rings carved on it, while oil lamps would be placed of 7 to 8 feet height. However, the column was sans and there was no lamp was lighted there since many days. The architecture of the temple was old fashioned. It had a tiled roof on the top. The wooden skirting at the bottom of the roof was decorated by carvings. The wooden frames of the entrance had steel bars fixed in it. Having entered the temple, one encountered an idol of Nandi, the carrier of Lord Shiva. Ahead of it was the chief sanctum of in which is called Shivalinga, the symbol of Lord Shiva, the deity of the temple. One has to descend 3 to 4 stairs to enter the sanctum sanctorium. As the threesome entered the sanctorium, Anna suddenly turned left, lay prostrate before the corner, and paid Sastang Namaskar, touching 8 points of the body on the ground, absence to some other deity. Though Narmada and Pandurang also emulated him, neither of them understood as to why did a grandfather bowed before the vacant corner. After praying before Lord Shiva, Anna squatted before the same corner and closed his eyes. Probably he was praying in his mind. Both children also sat close to him. After a while, Anna opened his eyes. "Come, now, let us spend some time alongside the Samadhi memorial," he suggested while getting to his feet. All three of them came out of the temple. Beyond Bhuvaneshwar temple was the Samadhi shrine of Anna's grandfather. Anna had made some construction around it. Close by were a few small water ponds, like small constructed pools in which bloomed lotus flower. All of them started for the Samadhi memorial. On way was a bakul tree. The path nearby the tree was showered by bakul flowers. Narmada couldn't resist to pick up some flowers in the cone of both the palms. Anna was telling the history. "Listen, Pandurang. 70 years ago, this Samadhi memorial of your great grandfather was built. What is Samadhi, Anna? My dear, this is the place where the funeral of your great grandfather took place. A gravestone like structure has been built there. Since he was initiated into sannyas, renunciation, the place where his mortal remains were consigned to the five elements of the nature is considered as holy memorial. And a memorial is the holy place where a small monument is created to preserve the memories of the departed one. Anna anticipated Pandurang's next question. What is a memorial? And answered it before he could utter it. However, Pandurang unpredictably came out with another question. Anna, sannyas means the same as accepted by the parents of Sant Dhyaneshwar, isn't it? Yes, exactly the same. Even as the conversation was going on, they reached the place of Pandurang Pant, Anna's grandfather, Samadhi. Pandurang was anxious to know something more. Anna, hmm? Pandurang asked while sitting close to Anna, who had already squatted near the Samadhi. Come on, look at me. Tell me, why did my great grandfather accept the sannyas? Was he outcast by the villager like Dhaneshwar parents? No, 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 not at all, dear. He got initiated into sannyas for other reason. And what was that? I will tell you later sometime. Now you sit here quietly and listen intently to what I tell you. Bend and put your head on the samadhi. Let an enormous task be carried out by my hands. Pray this in your mind. Hands folded, he kept on looking at the footprints carved in the stone on the samadhi. Then he closed his eyes and closed the doors for the worldly thoughts too. He felt the Chaitanya, universal divine energy, engulfing his entire self. The divine energy completed enveloped him. He realized despite his small age, Narmada also was sitting there with her hands folded. Soon afterward, Anna opened his eyes. He saw Pandurang look at him only. His sparkling blue eyes appeared more luminous to his grandfather. While looking at his grandson without batting an eyelid, Anna's mind was thinking, this boy surely is blessed with some divine power. That is why a great deal of care has to be taken to rear him. He should not fall short of anything, and for that I will have to gird up my loins. Suddenly he remembered the prediction made by Pandurang Pant, his great his grandfather. He always used to tell his son, in our family, a saintly man is going to take birth in the fifth generation from mine. See that he gets everything. Anna had followed his grandfather's instruction meticulously. He had saved money from his regular income and bought a few properties around Rohe village to ensure that his heirs would not fall short of any material things in life. Anna had his own way of leading life. He used to have a peep in the future and live in the present accordingly. Thanks to his forethought, a firm foundation was going to be laid of Pandurang's future life. Mind was racing the thoughts about Pandurang and his future. Narmada brought him out of the entrance state. Anna, should we return? It is getting dark. Oh, yes. Let us move now. We haven't brought lantern with us today. Anna was right as Rohe was still deprived of the facility of electricity. The foreign British rulers had carried out several developments, created many facilities in the country to entice the populace. Along with the development like steam rail and telegraph, electricity also had been introduced. However, the light of the electricity bulbs was yet to reach the Rohe village. As a result, Darkness blossomed in the village after sunset. Need for a lantern could be reflected in sometimes. As Anna had not brought the lantern with him today, he hastily got up as soon as Narmada made him aware of the onset of the impending darkness. Straightening up his khadi shirt, he looked at Pandurang. Let us start. We must reach home before the dark, no? Getting to his feet, Pandurang eagerly asked, when we are coming back here again? Often. After you grow up, never forget this place. This is the holiest of the holy pilgrimage center of our Athavale family. Whenever you encounter any predicament, you should come here. I am sure you will certainly find a way out. Submit yourself to this place of our traditional belief. Who knows what design the God has for this child? Anna's mind kept on thinking. Perhaps he will find his own way out. Young Pandurang has failed to comprehend completely what Anna had told him just now. Nevertheless, he moved his head in obedience and once again paid obeisance from the bottom of his heart to the extremely holy place of the Samadhi. Then, however, they came out without spending further time anymore. As they were returning, Anna once again bowed before the Bhuvaneshwar deity without going inside the temple. He folded his hand also in the direction of the left corner of the sanctum before beginning the rapid walk towards home along with his grandchildren. All of them started their return work towards the village by turning westwards. Anna and the children were contented by the spiritual reprieve the trip provided and the monuments they spent together with the remnants of the ancestors. Beyond the high mountains in the west, a cluster of snow-white clouds loitering in the blue sky was bathing in crimson sunlights, emanating amber aura all around. A rite of scarlet color was occurring on the western horizon to mark the setting of the sun. The high black mountains, however, was nonchalant toward the colorful festivities going on in the sky, as they were busy receiving flocks of birds returning to their abodes in the hills. Pandurang, however, was oblivious of the nature play around. He was thinking of what Anna had said a few moments. Besides, he could also not figure out why Anna paid obeisance to the vacant corner in the sanctorium where they entered the Bhuvaneshwar temple. He could not resist himself and asked insistently, Anna, who was it that you bowed before in the temple? What do you mean? I bowed before the god. Where was the god? There was no god in the unoccupied corner of the sanctum. You bowed before that corner, didn't you? Yes, you are right. Then tell me now, whom did you pay the obeisance to in that corner? Oh, I see that corner. I'll tell you about it sometime later. Now we will have to reach home before the dark come on. Double up. Narmada and Pandurang began walking briskly to catch up with their grandfather. Pandurang's legs were moving fast, and so was the wheels of the thoughts in his mind. Why did Pandurang Pant, his great grandfather, accept sannyas? Moreover, why did Anna bow before that corner in the temple sanctorium? These questions were plaguing his mind all the while. By this time, they had crossed the school and turned toward the house. The dusk was over, and the darkness prevailed all around. Dim light of lanterns and oil lamps were lighting in the village houses. Anna's house too was lighted by the oil lamps. As they entered the front yard, Saraswati Bai encountered them and said complainingly, how late are you? See, it's past evening. Anna was rather apologetic. True, we are late, but anyway, we finished taking wash right away. Until that time, you prepare for Dhoop Aarti, musical prayer in praise of the god with Dhoop incense. Saraswati Bai nodded and went inside only to come back again with pieces of chapati, Indian bread, which she circled around the heads of the children several times and threw away, a ritual carried out to ward off evil spirits. One must do this. You people have been in the woods for so long. Narmada and Pandurang then washed their hands and feet to participate in the Dhoop Aarti being performed by Anna. Passing odor, incense was pervading all over at that time. Pandurang's mind, however, was very restless, as earlier thoughts kept on dodging him repeatedly, incessantly. Thank you for joining in on this incredible journey through the life of Pandurang Shastri Athavale. Stay tuned for more insights and inspiration. Jai Yogeshwar.